Hey, how's everybody doing? As everybody knows, or has listened to the last podcast episode, I had a 2022 Ford Maverick XLT FX4. Well, recently, I traded it up for a 2022 Ford Ranger XLT FX4. And in this episode, we're going to talk about the Ford Ranger and how fucking gnarly it is. The Ford Ranger made its comeback in 2019 just below the Ford F-150, and then you have your Maverick under that. So it's considered a mid-sized truck, which in my case has plenty of room to do what I need it to do. Recently, just buying a house and shit, you know how that is. It's fun, but it's hell at the same time. Well, I didn't buy a ranch farm or anything along those lines. I just bought basically a townhouse with a few acres of land, which is plenty. And having a house, a truck definitely comes in handy. Well, the reason why I didn't go with the F-150 was because it's too big, I guess. And I could see having an F-150 and all that, F-250, all those F-Series, for someone who lives on a farm, takes care of cattle, anything along those lines. I don't. I bought, like I just said, it's considered a townhouse, I guess. And for the Ford Ranger that I just purchased, the bed's big enough, and it has just the amount of space I needed to haul shit like wood for the house, campfire wood. I also hike and camp. I like doing all that shit in the free time when I'm not working, which is, well, once or twice a year. But anyway, we'll get back to that some other time. And having the Ford Ranger, so one day I was on the internet scoping around for new trucks, and I came across this 2022 Ford Ranger XLT FX4. And the color of it is Velocity Blue. And it is fucking sick looking. The pictures really didn't justify it as that great looking. But when I got up in person to it, the Velocity Blue pops, and there's no chrome on the truck at all. So it has the black appearance package. So it has, you got your black wheels, your black door handles, the grill's all blacked out, and the color flows so nice with the Velocity Blue. Having the new Ford Ranger is actually pretty badass. I mean, there's a lot you could tow with it. There's a lot of shit you could do with it. And like I said before, the Maverick was the first truck I've ever had. And I've come to find out, owning a home, having a truck definitely comes in handy. And helps you out doing a lot of work around the house or whatever else you got to do, you know. And having the new Ford Ranger, I love the body styles of it. Granted, there is one little issue with it. When Ford built the Rangers, they built a 10R80 transmission, and all in all, it's not that great of a transmission, but I was doing some research, and there's fixes to it that can be done. So a big thing that I found on them is that you can get the valve body change, the gaskets in the two separator plates, and then have a reflash done on the computer. So anyone out there that does have a Ranger, from what I've been reading, I suggest you get that done because it definitely showed improvement. The shifts changed different. It runs a lot smoother. So that's the only issue I have with mine right now. Other than that, it's a fucking gnarly ass truck. I mean, it's well worth it. The towing capacity on them, I think it's like 3,500 plus pounds on it. And the whole ideal of this truck, of what I want to do with it, is that I want to build a Ford Performance work truck. So what do I mean by a Ford Performance work truck? Well, I want the horsepower with it, but I also want to utilize it to where I can work with it, you know, haul shit around the house. We go up to the Adirondacks a lot, hiking and camping up there. We go down to the Catskills. Plus, we hit Florida up every year, and this truck is definitely suitable for all that. And with that, with the Ford Performance work truck, so far right now, all I've done is bought the Ford Performance tuner. Now, the Rangers come stock at 270 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. Now, since the tuner's been in, my horsepower went up to 315 and my torque went up to 370. Now, it says the minimum fuel you can run is 91. To get maximum horsepower, you got to run 93. And that's all I run in my truck is 93. Yeah, it's $4.55 a gallon, but fuck it. You get a faster truck. So it's worth it. And when you buy the Ford Performance tuner, you also get a K&N air intake with it. So I spent $900 on the tuner, plus $130 to get it done at a Ford dealership so I can keep the 3-year warranty on it. 100% worth doing. I'm actually getting better gas mileage now running 93 than I was with 87. When I had 87 in, I was averaging out between 16 and 18 miles per gallon. Now with the 93, I'm hitting between 19 and 25, somewhere right around there. So for what I paid for the tuner to get it all done and installed in the truck, the gas mileage and the horsepower worked out on both ends. Now with later on, probably the next few years or so, I'm going to work on getting the Ford Performance lift kit, which is the Fox shocks. It's either 2 or 2.5. I can't remember exactly. I want to add that to it. And if you go on Ford Performance website, there's a shit ton of stuff you could buy for Mustangs, Fords, F-150s, Ford Rangers, and then I think they got a few stuff for the Maverick and the Mustang Mach-E on there too. But even on the Ford Performance website, you could build your Mustang with the 4-cylinder or with the V8, so that's cool. And I've had this truck now for a few months, and the ride comfort is amazing. I mean, it's like your ass is sitting on a cloud. Holy fuck, I couldn't believe the difference between the Maverick and the Ford Ranger. What a difference it is in comfortability. And when it comes to interior, they did a hell of a job. The Ford Ranger looks so good. Like, the Maverick did too, but I'm really not. For interiors, I'm more of, I like the black and the dark style stuff. The Maverick has like a light blue, it has orange accents in it and all that, and some people like it. I liked it. I just wasn't a big fan of it. And also for the Ford Ranger, I want to get is my Toyo Open Country AT3s. Literally the best fucking tire I've ever had in my life. They're good from winter, spring, fall, and summer. The noise isn't loud on them, and you get good gas mileage with it. Plus, when it comes to going off-roading, they do a hell of a fucking job on it, man. I mean, those tires, they work wonders. And at the end of the day, I'm happy I got the Ford Ranger, you know what I mean? It's definitely a new ball game getting into it, and I'm sure there's a lot more stuff I gotta learn about it, which comes in time. And yeah, it's just a badass truck. If anyone out there has it, I personally like it a lot. Besides that one transmission issue, which no matter which car manufacturer you buy, you're bound to have problems somewhere. Other than the transmission issue, this truck is fucking sick, man. I couldn't believe the horsepower. And my mom just got the new Grand Cherokee L, so it has a 3.6 V6 in it, right? and it has 293 horsepower in that. Now, my Ford Ranger has the 2.3 liter inline 4. My 4-cylinder is faster than her Jeep's V6, which I was fucking shocked by. And when it comes to Ford did a hell of a job when it comes to the performance end of it. From their Rangers, the F-150s, the Raptors, the Mustangs, all that. They definitely killed it. And since I've had this truck, I'm definitely impressed with it. So at the end of the day, the Ford Ranger was definitely a good investment. Like I said before, not everybody needs a full-size truck, and not everybody needs a small truck like a Ranger, or like the Maverick, sorry. And the Ranger is definitely a suitable fit. It definitely gets done what it needs to get done with stuff around the house, going on trails, road trips, and all that. So if you're out there looking for a truck, and you don't need a full-size one like the F-150, but you don't need a small one like the Maverick, I suggest you go with the Ranger. It's definitely cool. And like I said before, all the mods you get to do to it, oh, it's 100% worth it all the way. And with this truck, I definitely can't wait till I start building more with it and definitely seeing all the potential in it. So that was this podcast about my 2022 Ford Ranger. I hope to see y'all next time on the next podcast, and tune in to Driven by Machines on Spotify and follow on YouTube. Peace.